perfect, whole and complete. My life is ever new. Each moment of my life is new and fresh and vital. I use my affirmative thinking to create exactly what I want. This is a new day. I am a new me. I think differently. I speak differently. I act differently. Others treat me differently. My new world is a reflection of my new thinking. It is a joy and a delight to plant new seeds, for I know these seeds will become my new experiences. All is well in my world. You tell yourself it enough and it starts to feel like it's true, right? You just tell yourself day by day, right? You read a little bit and it's like, I'm getting better day by day. And like, I say, I am, you are, Rob, because that's like my name, you know. I say, you are getting better, just, and not there yet. I'm not kind of like totally good, but I'm getting there a bit, which is enough, right? And I got to this point sort of recently where I thought I was pretty much okay, right? And then Sarah rings, and she always seems to have this knack of ringing up just when I'm like about better, do you know what I mean? And it's just she'll ring us, and her voice is like honey over broken glass, right? And it just sets the restart button straight away, right? She rings us up and she was telling us all about a new life in London and how great everything was, and I was saying, Sarah, I don't really want to know because like I didn't, and she said, that's fine, Rob, I don't really want to talk anyway. And I was thinking, well, what are you ringing for? And she said, Rob, do you have my diary? And I said, no. Because I did not get invited to the high school prom, I cannot enjoy life today. Well, see, that's fine, because my school, we didn't have proms. It wasn't that sort of school. So that's fine. That one doesn't apply to me. It might apply to some people. Because I did poorly at my first tryout, I will be terrified forever of challenges. But again, I've never really tried out for anything, you know. Because I was hurt by a remark once, I will never trust anyone again. No, I definitely have been hurt by remarks. Has anyone else been hurt by a remark before? Yeah. Do you think you'll ever be able to trust again? Yeah, cool. Yeah, me too, which is fine, because a lot of this book is really, really good and really helpful, but some of it is bollocks, and that's just life. Because I was poor as a child, I will never get anywhere. I was quite poor as a child, but I'm here talking to you, so I feel I'm doing all right. Because I stole something once, I must punish myself forever. So, yeah, Sarah rang up and she said, Rob, do you have my diary? And I said no. And this, I mean, it wasn't. It was a lie. Okay. Yeah. Got it. It's here. And that's kind of why I brought you here. I realise what you might be thinking, but why would you do that? It's an awful thing to do to someone that you loved. I just think if you knew how I'd come to get it, maybe you'd understand. So me and Sarah were together, as far as I was aware, right? Because she'd not said that we weren't together. So judging by what she didn't not say, then we weren't not together, which means that we were. You know, like she was still my Sarah, and I was still her Rob. But she was leaving for London the next day without me, and we've not really talked about, you know, what this meant, whether we were just going to be like a long distance relationship, or if we'd just be friends and see each other at the weekends, or if we'd maybe just leave it be, you know, nothing had been said. And so it's the night before she goes to London, and I'm just sat in my mum's house, like because that's like where I lived. And I'm just picturing her packing all of our things, right? Like this blue dress I bought her. The first time that I told her that I loved her, right? And she'd wear it sometimes. She didn't tell me she loved me too. She said, "Shut up, Rob, you don't know what you're talking about." But it had this little strappy thing that would fall off the shoulder, and she'd pull it back up, and this little teddy bear she had, right? It was this rabbit called Flopsy that had like a hole in the side of its head, and she'd bury her nose in it when she got stressed, and like pull all the stuffing out of this hole in its head with like her fingers and her teeth, and then shove it all back in again when she was better. I'm picturing her packing these things, and it's killing us. You know? My mate Tom rings us up, and Tom's good. He's been there ever since I was little. You know, it's always been me and Tom. And he said, "I'm having this party, Rob. Come out. Like, got to come out and get out of your head." And I didn't really want to see anyone. But I remembered because I've been low before and been in periods where I couldn't. You know, I was in the house a lot, and my mum would also. I remember what my mum would say, and I had her voice in my head because she's insightful, mum, and she likes to help, and she'd say, "Rob, you need to get out of the bloody house," right? She never trusted Sarah so much, actually, my mum. They didn't meet in the best of circumstances. I remember I'd said to her, I'm seeing this girl, ma'am, and she said, "Are you sure you can trust her?" Right? And I said, "Of course. Do you want to meet her?" And she said, "If I must." Right? So really, I should have told Sarah that that's what my mum said, rather than like pretending that she'd said, "Oh yeah, really keen to meet." I've barely ever lied to Sarah. But there's the diary. But apart from that, barely ever lied to her. But I did say my mum was really keen to meet her, which was a lie, and I shouldn't have done that, and I should have actually checked that my mum was in as well, because me and Sarah had not been going out that long. We got the bus all the way out to my mum's house, right, and like, we got there, and I knocked on the door, right, because we don't have one of them doorbells, and there was no answer, so I got out my keys, which I had for the door, because like I lived there, and I opened the door, and I said, "Ma'am, me lass is here," right, and then worrying that was a bit like misogynistic, I was like, "I mean, my girlfriend, Sarah, that I've told you about, right?" And there was no answer, and like, the house was empty, you could tell it was empty. So me and Sarah just sat for a bit, watching Countdown on the telly, right, and we were waiting, and it felt like we were waiting. So we got this point, I was like, maybe we should go, and she said, or you could show us your bedroom, right? Which, like, I was nervous about, because it's my childhood bedroom, so it's still got all my old things in it, right? Like my Power Rangers and that, and I thought, rather than like just pretend they're not there, I'll just introduce her to them. So I'm there, we go up, and I'm in my bedroom, and I'm there going like, this is Tommy, he's the red Power Ranger, and he's the leader, right? But there's been loads of Power Rangers throughout time, but this is the original one, right? And as I'm saying this, she comes and just like presses her body up next to mine and like kisses me neck, and I know what she's doing, but I said, "No, wait, my mum's going to be back soon." And she pulls us over to my bed anyway, and you know when the fire just sort of catches you, like, the fire catches you, and we're tearing at each other, and we're kissing, we'll have sex, and this is when my mum gets back, which we weren't aware of at the time. She didn't walk in or anything, but when we got back downstairs, my mum's just sat at the kitchen table, like stiff as a plank, like a standing stone, or like, I suppose in this case like a sitting stone. And she might as well have been standing because she was really imposing. And I said, "Ma'am, this is Sarah that I told you about." And then although I probably shouldn't have done, I added, "We weren't just having sex." So, Tom invites us to this party, and I don't want to say anyone, but I go anyway, and And it's weird at first, because it's like, when I've been with Sarah, it's just me and her. No one else, right? No one else in the world. You know, I never even really met her housemates properly, because she wasn't really, like, would just stay in her room. She wasn't that comfortable as, like, meeting other people. And when I was without her, it was just me. You know, like, even if I was with other people, it was just me in my head. So I'm at this party with, like, people, like, I knew back in the day, like, back in sixth form, and it's like I'm in a house of ghosts. Like, not like a haunting situation, just, like, people are there, but they're, like, drifting past, and they're not really there. And then, gradually, as this party goes on, they start to materialise, and I find I can actually talk to people again for the first time in ages. I remember I went through the kitchen, and there was Steve and Hannah there, right, who I'd known from sixth form. They were a couple, and they'd just been off travelling and come back, and I walked in, and as I walked in, they just smiled and said, "You're right, Rob, how are you getting on?" And I was thinking, when was the last time someone smiled when I walked in a room? You know, like anyone. When was the last time even Sarah smiled when I walked into a room? And I'm thinking of Sarah, but I'm not. I'm just thinking about people smiling. And for the first time, I think maybe it'll be all right. You know, maybe even if she goes to London, maybe if we stay together, whatever happens, it's going to be okay, right? And then she rings us. She always has this knack of ringing just when I'm about there, and the phone vibrates, and it's her name, and I think, she's changed her mind. She's going to stay. Right? Because we've not talked about it. So I'm running out the kitchen to the front door, and I stand on the porch, and I answer, and she's just all dead casual. She's like, "You're right, Rob. Do you want to come round?" Right? And I match casual back, because you have to. And like, it's, you know, like if someone whispers at you, you don't shout back, do you? You know, like, "How are you?" "Yeah." You don't go, "Fine!" You whisper back. So I'll say, "Yeah, I can come round if you want. You know, if you like, I'm just at this party, whatever." But my feet are already halfway down the street, right? And it's like that programme they used to have on the telly. I used to watch it, like they did reruns late at night when I was a bit lower. One Man and His Dog, right? Have you seen this programme? Has anyone not seen it? Yeah, if you've not seen it, basically it's that good. It's this programme, right, where you've got this shepherd and his sheepdog, right? And then he's got a bunch of sheep, and he has to get the sheep with the sheepdog into these bits of fence, right? And that's about it. But it's really watchable. And it's like, she's the shepherd and I'm her sheepdog, and she just shouts, "Come by," and I'm off. Right? And I've not said goodbye to fucking anyone at this party, which is shit, because just 10 minutes ago, like, it mattered so much that these people I used to be connected to were still there, and in comparison to her, they don't mean a thing. And I'm on my way to hers thinking, maybe I'll get there and I'll open the door and she'll just be crying with her arms open, and I'll cry, and she'll say, "How could I be so stupid to ever consider leaving Rob? It's you," right? Or maybe I'll grow a spine and I'll say, "Look, Sarah, if you go to London, that's it for me and you, and I don't care what you say," right? And she'll say, "Okay, I'll stay for you, Rob," and I'll feel like a bit of a bastard for having done it that way, but I'll have what I want. Or maybe it'll just be fine. I'll see her and it'll just be fine, and we can just put it to bed nicely and be friends. I get there and none of these things happen. She's just being normal. She's like, "Do you want a cup of tea, Rob?" All our stuff's in boxes, right? All over the flat, like boxes like that. But like bigger. They've got a name on, so you can tell they're hers. Why would you put your name on a box that wasn't yours? We've got a London address on, right? So my chest drops and I say, "So you're definitely going to London then?" And she looks at this in that way that she does, which is like lovely, like really lovely, but also a bit like how a primary school teacher would look at a kid who just pissed on the carpet. And she says, "Yes, Rob, you know this. The couriers are coming at 10. And it's just awkward. And we're not giving each other eye contact, and we're not talking about anything that matters. I mean, when we do have sex that night, there's eye contact, because I'm sort of got outdone. And I think it's like, it's my chance to prove myself. Prove that she should stay. The 2 goes, first one was a bit quick, second was alright. And afterwards, she just turns away and faces the wall, right? And she's like tense and not struggling at all. It's like there's a force field round her. And I'm just lying there in her room, right? And it's a small room and it's dark and there's a street light coming through the window. The light of it is, not the street light. And in the corner of our room, right, there's this big wardrobe cupboard. And it's like silhouetted. And it's like it's laughing at us, right? And I'm looking at this thinking there could be a whole other world in there, like Narnia or something, right? And just somewhere I can escape to that's not here. And for the first time I get why she wants to go to London, because it's easy, it's just an escape. And I want to say to her, like, you will still have you, it will still be you, and you'll still miss me, but I just want to crawl into this cupboard. And this cupboard was another world for us, right? Like, there was this bit of time, and we've been seeing each other a while, and things got kind of really close and nice, but a bit dark. It happened after the first time she cheated on us, actually, and she explained it didn't really count as cheating. Right, and it's fine. She did. Basically, the thing with Sarah, right? I've been reading about it in this other book, right? It's Intimacy and Solitude, and it talks about in couples what you need is like a balance of independence and closeness, right? Now the thing with Sarah, she liked her independence and she liked her closeness, right? She liked being close to me, but then when she got too close to me, she liked her independence. But then when she was independent, sometimes she'd just get these like craven needs for a bit of immediate closeness. At these bizarre times when I wasn't even there, like at this party with this lad called Gary. But she explained that it wasn't cheating. It was, you know, when you go shopping. Right? I've not done this in a while. No, I've been shopping, but not this other thing I'm about to tell you. All you need is like a shop with like a self-service machine and like and vegetables, right? And this thing you can do, you get your whole shop and then you put it all through the self-service machine as onions, right? Because it's cheaper. It's not stealing. It's just it's misleading, and it's you know. And where Sarah was up for uni, and I explained this trick to her, and she loved it. She just thought it was so wonderfully bloody common. But she explained that when she slept with Gary at this party, it was like that, because it was, you know, she got shopping even though it was onions. Not to say that I'm onions or shopping, but to say that even though she'd slept with him, really it was me, because she'd felt guilty about it, and she was thinking of me the whole time. And what does it matter anyway, Rob? Because it's all been through the till now. Yeah, she was good at explaining stuff. So after that, things got like nice, close, dark, unhealthy, but nice. And we just sit in this wardrobe with all like the coats hanging down, and we just try and make the world as small as possible, right? And we stayed in there for like 3 nights once, right? And we'd sit with a little torch, and we'd like tell each other stories in this tiny little cupboard. And it was unhealthy, but it was the closest I've ever felt with her. But I'm lying in bed the night before she goes to London thinking, it's not going to be like that anymore, is it? It's not going to be a cosy world. It's going to be empty, because all of our stuff is in fucking boxes. And I realised that she is going. And then I realised that I need a piss. So I get out of bed. And you know sometimes like when you realise you need a piss and you're like, do I need a shite as well? And I was like, yeah, no, I do need a shite as well. So I need something to read, right? Because my phone had died at this point. And it's like, sitting on the toilet's one of them times. It's similar to like having a bath late at night or being in the shower. It's one of these times where just the thoughts can get in and you've just got to sit on your own with your thoughts, with your pants around your ankles and your bum out. I needed something to read. And I passed around and there was a book on top of one of the boxes. And I did not know it was her diary. Like I had seen her writing in it, right? And I didn't, you know, I knew that maybe I shouldn't take it. But I was just going to the toilet, so I did, right? I picked it up and I went along the corridor and I sat myself down on the toilet. It's not a toilet, it's just a chair. There was this bit from near the beginning where she says, "Dear Diary, met a very interesting man tonight. We talked for ages. I know it sounds stupid, but I feel like the excitement that I felt yesterday in town, that feeling that something good was going to happen soon, maybe this is it. I don't know. But regardless what happens, I think things are going to get very interesting from here on, and I'm going to see him again very soon." And I wanted to show her this, right? I wanted to get through to her room and through to her head and just wake her up and be like, "Look, you wrote this! What are you doing? You wrote this, right?" But I was still having a shit. So, couldn't. So I read on. And then there was this bit where she says, "There's so many things that I can't tell Rob because he'd hate me for it." And I'm thinking, how could I, you know? She's lovely. I couldn't ever hear her. I remember one of the loveliest things she did, right? So when things were getting dark and we were in the cupboard and we weren't leaving the house much at all, I got a job, right? And because I had to, because I'd been in that place before where I couldn't leave the house, and Sarah hadn't. But this time it was different because it wasn't just me; it was with Sarah, so it was nice. It was like a shared thing, but it was new for her. But it meant that I could help her through it. But we were both dragging ourselves into this pit, and I couldn't help her if I was in there with her too. So I needed to get out of that. I needed to get a job, something to get me out of the house, so that I could help her, right? So I got a job just in Greg's, right? And this one day, like, she does the loveliest thing, like, she just came into work with a tray of cupcakes, right? And it doesn't sound like anything particularly momentous, but it was, for a couple of reasons. Firstly, she'd not been going anywhere on her own at all. Like, I had a copy of her uni timetable, so I could, like, ring her and tell her when she needed to go to lectures and coax around the house, and I basically knew where she was all day, every day, right? Because I was helping her. So it was nice. It was scary, but it was nice that she just came in on her own. And the other thing was that she came in like as my girlfriend. Like obviously she was my girlfriend, but she had this thing, Sarah, about being coupley. She didn't always like to be seen as part of the couple, and you know, she didn't want to act coupley outside or necessarily introduce us to people as a couple. And when she comes into work with this, she just books a tray of cupcakes. So I ate food on breaks and breaks, and I was sick of it. It was a nice thing to do. And she's, my boss Darren came through from the back, right? And he saw Sarah and he went, is that your girlfriend, Rob? And I was going to say, like, yes, right? But then I looked at her just to check she wasn't, like, frantically shaking her head or doing any of them, like, signals she sometimes does. And she didn't. She just sort of smiled and nodded, and my chest glowed, and I was like, yes, Darren, that's my girlfriend. And he smiled at me and he winked at Sarah and he said, nice one. And then he said to Sarah, actually, I'm just off on my lunch now, so we can go and get something if you want. And it was lovely, right? It was like this thing that's so nice when you kind of slightly isolated is when two people from two different worlds come together. Like a sort of Venn diagram, right? Like I had my Sarah world, which was just Sarah, and then me work world, which was like other people as well, but like Darren, right? And these two people from these two worlds coming together and convalescing in this sort of vagina-shaped bit in the middle. So I'm sat in the toilet and it says, there's so many things I can't tell what these is. I know if I read on those things are going to be there, and I want to know, and I also definitely don't. I can't stop myself, and I read on, and it says, met up with Darren again last night. Mind-blowing. Literally, mind-blown all over my bedroom walls. I know I need to tell Rob about it, but it feels like it's been too long now. My guts just like churned and fell. It was a good job I was sat in the toilet. And I'm sat there thinking, I asked her about that, right? And she said that nothing had happened. And that was a lie. And I get that telling her I don't have this is a lie, and that's dishonest, but it's like a sliding scale of dishonesty, isn't it? You know? Like I took this and that's bad, but she slept with him and she said she hadn't, that's worse. Wouldn't you say that's worse? Wouldn't you say that's a worse lie, right? And I'm thinking, where does it fall on the scale? Do you know what I mean? And like if I just take this, is that just like putting carrots through as onions? Or if I take this and then tell her I don't have it when she asks, is that like putting like chicken breast through or something more expensive? Like not stealing, so something more expensive. And maybe it's all better if you're not doing it for yourself, you're not doing it for your own ends. You've maybe got like dependents, you've got people you need to not steal for. And maybe if she was not telling me about Darren just to protect my feelings, then that's better. And if I'm not telling her I've got this to protect my feelings, then that's better. And am I doing that? And either way, I know I need rid of it. I need rid of it. I was sat in that toilet having read that, and I was thinking, I can go back through to her room now, and maybe she's still asleep. And I can just crawl in bed next to her and pretend this hasn't happened, right? Maybe if I go through now, she's awake and she's going, what are you doing with my diary? But if I go through now, she's asleep. And if I go through now, she's awake. And if I go through now, she's asleep. But now she's awake. It becomes like this like Schrodinger's cat situation where maybe she's both of those things at the same time, right? And I'm like, do I even want to crawl into bed next to her, right? Knowing this, or do I want this confrontation? And I can't make my mind up, so I just leave. Right, I get up and I put the diary in my bag. I did wipe my bum and I did flush the toilet. I did not leave a poo in the toilet. But I did take her diary and leave. She never even asked where I'd gone. She never rang up. I just disappeared in the middle of the night. I just heard from her. She was down the road. Right? This other really good book I've been reading. Fuck it. The Ultimate Spiritual Way. Right? It's good, this book, because just anything that's bothering you, You just breathe in and you fuck it out, and it doesn't matter. So everyone take a deep breath, breathe in, and sigh out. Breathe in. Fuck it. So you just do that with things that are upsetting you. So anything like John here gives some examples. Aunt Mabel thinks I steal her sweets. Fuck it. Aunt Mabel thinks I steal her. Come on, all together. Aunt Mabel thinks I steal her sweets. Fuck it. Gail Cranthorpe thinks I'm after her sister. Gail Cranthorpe thinks I'm after her sister. Fuck it. Right, so this works with anything. So, like, what's been bothering you? And we can fuck it away.
Yeah, the fact that, well, how much time have I got left? I've been very lucky to reach this great age, so enjoy every day. Yeah, so that's
Tense.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, the fact that I might not have long left. The fact that I might not have long left. Fuck it. Right, let's have another one. What's been bothering you?
I got 3 hours sleep last night.
I got 3 hours sleep last night. Fuck it. So this works with anything like postman's delivered the letters late. Fuck it. I missed work because I slept in again. Fuck it. Massively destructive ex just occasionally texts you out the blue, even though when you respond she'll never reply and you've got no idea what she's playing at. Fuck it. I wish her well. Always wish her happy. Let's see some of this happiness. There's lovely things in here. There is absolutely lovely things, and there are awful things. So should we hear some? Do you want to hear some? Let's have a look. Let's see if we can fuck it to some of these things. So, okay, good. Yeah, here we are. Going out with Rob is sometimes like going out with a mollusk. Fuck it. He just latches on and does nothing and takes, and when I'm with him, I do nothing too, and not in a fun studenty way, like a scary this is forever way. Fuck it. He won't get the message, and I don't have the heart to tell him that I want this to be over, and I know I should tell him about Darren, but I can't. Fuck it. Fuck it. It doesn't work. I was going to stay for Rob. I so nearly was, and then he looked at me that way he does, and there was so much love in his eyes, and I couldn't match that, and I knew I had to go. Mollusk. What do we think of some of these things Sarah's said there? What do you think? What do you think about it? If this was you, how would that make you feel?
Not good.
Not good. Okay, brilliant. Not good. That's right. That's fine. What's your name?
James.
James from
Gravesend.
James from Gravesend said you made him feel not good. You dick. Right, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you know, we're just having it just for reflect. Anything else? Anyone got any thoughts about what Sarah said here? Anyone?
Not nice being thought of as a mollusk.
Not nice, yeah, not nice being called a mollusk. Says what was your name?
Says Chris from Nottingham.
Says Chris from Nottingham. Yeah. Any more? Shout them out. You broke my heart. used to write her like letters and poems and stuff, and I'd send them to her, and like she never said anything, but I just figured like nothing needed to say it. Needed, couldn't read it. It's not even open. I need this. It needs reading. Someone read it.
I'll read if you like.
Brilliant. If you come up, sit on the toilet.
Right.
Brilliant. So you can be Sarah, and then Sarah will have read it, and that's fine. Actually, you look just like her. If you could just open that and read that.
Sarah, close your eyes. Give me your hands. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? Is this burning an eternal flame? I believe it's meant to be, Sarah. I watch you when you are sleeping. You belong to me. Does that creep you out? Please don't go to London. Is this burning our eternal flame? Say my name. Sun shines through the rain. A whole life so lovely. Then you come and ease the pain. I don't want to lose this feeling. Please stay. Love, Rob. Lots of kisses.
Big hand for Sarah. Shouldn't even read it. It's like now, as long as I have these things, it's nothing I can. Look, I know I should have got over all of this a long time ago. Sometimes I think maybe I have, maybe I did. Maybe it's just like the one that got away. It's like nostalgia. It's a bit of myself that I can cling on to that's just mine and that I can leave there, so I don't ever have to fully land here. I don't ever have to actually commit to now, right? I do need to be over it properly, right? So it's been so long now, and she's married, and I've got Kevin and the kids. I wouldn't give that up for anything, and this kills it. But as long as I've got this, it burns a hole in us, and there is nothing I can do, and so I need rid of it. And I figure I've either got to burn it, right, or give it back to her. We've scribbled all over it now. I don't know which to do, and I thought you could help with that. I thought we'd have a vote. A vote with your money. That's alright. You don't have to pay 25 quid to vote, it's not that kind of party. But on your way out, there'll be two buckets. The one will say burn, one will say return. Whichever you feel would be preferable. Put a few coins in. I'm going to tally it up, and then hopefully I'll know what to do, right? And I can move on from it. And you'll have helped with that. So, thank you. From me and from Sarah.